think it's on. All right. Well, good morning. Fridays with Fred. We are back. It's actually Sunday morning when I'm filming this, and I'm gonna already apologize because my voice sounds like absolute shit. Because I have a hangover, and as Jack Black would say, who knows what that means? And it means I was drunk yesterday. So, um, I thought my jacket and gloves were done for the year, but it's April 19th and it's 30 something degrees outside. So here we are. Um, I thought I'd mix it up a little bit today since I skipped the gym and I'm waiting for Chipotle to open, so I have a lot of time to kill. I brought you guys to Magooni's Park, so I don't really want to walk around with a laptop and look weird, but um, this is probably one of the most special, sacred places to me. Um, I dubbed it Magooni's Park because this is where him and I spent a lot of time together. Uh, you know, Magooni was an older fella that his body kind of reflected that, and his little legs did kind of what people wouldn't really call walking. That he was more of a waddler, and this place is perfect for him because so many trees were around, and even though he didn't have to go a far distance, he got his steps in, and he loved it here. And we spent a lot of time here, and then when COVID hit in the lockdown, we spent a ton of time here, and it's a place I find very peaceful because of that memory. And I come here mornings all the time. Um, Even in between Magooni and Fred, I would come here with either coffee or breakfast and kind of clear my thoughts. Kyle Stowers was activated, baby. Let's go. Um, but, you know, it was very special to me. And then, of course, with Fred would come here. Fred and I went to, he had a few different spots. Of course, Fred loved Lakewood Park with the Solstice, sorry. Um, and, behind Ford Middle School. Unfortunately, I can't go behind Ford Middle School by myself right now while I'm coping and missing Fred because that would be really, really fucking weird. But Magooni Park, of course, was a place that I always came with Fred, and he ran around obviously way quicker than Magooni did, but they both love to hear, and I I know they're both here with me when I come here, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to bring you guys here again. I'm not walking around and everything. It goes further back, and then in the woods back there, there's the trails and the parks and everything, and it's actually a much bigger area than it looks. But this is uh this is my place of comfort and peace. Um, Last night was WrestleMania Night 1, and again today's Sunday, and I'll post this Friday. I I don't know if I'm gonna keep posting these on only Fridays, despite the title being Fridays with Fred. Um, I don't know what rules I'm making for that yet, but uh, it is Sunday morning here. Um, WrestleMania Night 1 last night was a really fun time with the gathering of friends, but the show itself kind of sucked. So I went over to Brandon's around 4, and I was watching the Marlins game, and then Sharf and I watched the Guardians game out there, and the Guardians won with a Rokio and Bo Naylor bomb. And when Brandon was able to come out, he joined us out there, and then Ken arrived, and we had WrestleMania Night 1 on one TV. On the other TV, we had our 4 screen baseball app on where we were watching 4 different games. But the Pirates game was, 9 hours long, and that was thrilling. And we had the Lakers LeBron James show on, and um, man, the drinks were flowing good as they always do with good people. WrestleMania night one sucked. Night 2 is tonight, but night 1 the matches were bad. They were quick. Uh, there was, I think, the runtime they showed there was an hour and a half of advertisements ran throughout the whole show. Like it was bad. Um, but we'll see how night 2 goes tonight. By the time you see this, it'll already have happened. So hopefully, it was good. Um, my second video was going to be my talk about Fred and my loss of Fred and depression, but I'm actually going to switch it up a little bit because after I posted my first video, um, I received a bunch of texts that were like, kind of looking out for me and borderline don't jump texts, because I am filming these and I said how I want to leave things behind. And, obviously I'm dealing with my Fred depression, but I just, I'm going to mix it up for this one and just kind of be, upbeat and talking about life, because I promise you these are not because of depression or am I in any, like, does anyone need to be worried about me? Am I depressed? Yes. Yes. 100%. Um, you know, the next one of these I do, I'm going to go in depth, but I lost my baby boy in a very hard way, okay? In a very unexpected, unforeseen way. And the aftermath of it, I live alone uh, in my apartment with Fred, which is technically Fred's apartment. And I'm sure that's him shining light on me as I'm talking about him now. But I definitely am depressed. Like I get up in the mornings. I'm waking up at 4 in the morning, just naturally now. Like I make myself an omelet. I watch a little bit of The Office. I go to the gym. I come home. I eat dinner. Do my dishes. Clean my apartment. It's. I go take a shower. It's still not even 6 p.m. yet, and you know it's not. We're not 18 years old anymore, and or 20, 25, even 30. Like it's not like friends are just available at the drop of a whim to go do something at 6 p.m. and nor should my friends have to like rotate a schedule and keep me occupied and everything. Like so I I am depressed, yes. And someone says I look depressed. Well, I'm depressed. But these are not because of that. So I just want to get it out there in the open that these are something that I've always wanted to do. Uh, going back, I was going through my screenshots and stuff and things I've done in the past. Like I've always put up, Zoom calls together with like 5 to 8 people. Like I love the idea of getting friends together and kind of hosting things and talking about things. During COVID, I made trivia nights where we had like 7 of my friends' couples together, and I was hosting trivia nights. And like I said, me and Brandon a couple years ago with Fred on his patio, I actually filmed an hour podcast episode with Brandon, but because I did it through my phone, something about it wouldn't upload, and it pissed me off so much, and it like frustrated me that I just never went back to it. And like for years, and I can go through my social media posts for years, I have always wanted to do stuff like this. So while I'm going through a very hard, depressing time in my life, this is a positive thing. This is actually something I've wanted to do, and it's something that like I'm finally just I'm going and doing it. Like this is a good thing. These are gonna help me, and I'm okay. Like obviously, like I'm going through the hardest shift of my life, but I am okay. So thank you guys, but please know that like this is like something I'm excited to do. This is not a while I said I'm gonna leave things behind or I want to make these so I leave things behind for people to see or anything. Like that was not meant to be like a sad, depressing thing. Like I'm very excited to do these. Um, that said, because I wanted to make that clear, I'm gonna save the talk about my depression and loss of Fred for the next time I do this because it is going to be a very sad one and a very emotional one. So I want to make it clear before I did that that this little project I'm doing with these is a positive thing. It's a good thing. Let's see what time it is. Chipotle still doesn't open for another half hour. I'm hungry. Um, Sean's gonna make fun of me with between Aldi and Chipotle. I always sit in their parking lots before they open, and Dan says that like no, the workers, excuse me, walk past me in the parking lots and like hate me. They know I'm waiting to come in. But yeah, so that's like I said, I'm working out early. I'm coming. I'm working. I'm coming home. Um, what else is going on in life? I'm running my awesome fantasy baseball league. It's very different, and every team has to have one player from each MLB team. Me and Sharf are in a close matchup right now, but I'm on the verge of becoming 3-0, or am I doing it right? 3-0. Um, and we're me and Sean co-runs it with me, but he just does it so me and him have shit to talk about. But we're the Honolulu Shih Tzus, Fred, and possibly about to be 3-0. Um, you know, Thank God baseball's back, because before baseball was back and I was going through this hard time, like I said, I'm done with everything at 6 p.m. and I have nothing to do. Whereas now the Guardians are back on. We got the MLB package. I can put any game on. So baseball's back and it's been awesome. I'm very much enjoying it and it's been very helpful. Um, Guardians are the Guardians. Like I don't even know how to. We're gonna hit like shit. We're gonna pitch great, and we're gonna be in the running for the end of the playoffs at the end of the year. Like, um, I'm happy Chase DeLauder's here, but we are who we are. That's as much of a simple take as I can get. I went to the first 4 games of the year. Um, their opening day was a drunk shit show, and um, I ended up Sharf and I ended up hanging out with Heather, Lisa, Chelsea, and their friend Katie, who we met. And it's hard to watch the game if you don't get there early enough. The doubleheader Sunday for Chicago was cold as shit. I was down there. Watched the first one alone. Uh, Met up with Lisa for the second game. The fourth game in a row that I went to, my friend Kelly invited me down. First row seats behind the first base dugout, and it was amazing. We ended up losing that game, but that experience was cool. But I'm super excited for baseball season. I have the ballpark passes, and I'm already working on a schedule of taking my friends to promo nights and $2 beer nights and all this stuff. And like my calendar, actually, I'm booking awesome events with friends. I want to make a lot of memories with my friends and make sure I make one with all of them at the Guardians game. So I'm just very excited for baseball season. Um, Cavs, Cavaliers are in the playoffs. Sean asked me my take on that, and I have a very, very honest and very stern take on the Cavs. This is admittedly the least I've watched the Cavs this year in a long time. The last 4 years, I've just been getting really sick of having a really good team with all this expectation and potential and not making it past the second round. And, last year we had the incredible, historic regular season that we had. We were everything going on there, and then still couldn't make it out of the first round. So my take with them is I purposely didn't watch as much of the regular season because I don't care about the NBA regular season. Half the league makes the playoffs, and last year was a prime example that it doesn't matter how good you are, you gotta show up in the playoffs, which we fail to do. So now that we're here, round one is against Toronto. Um, you gotta take care of business. You absolutely have to win that series. Round two, if we do, would be against the winner of the Pistons series. I can't think off the top of my head who Detroit's playing, but let's assume it's Detroit. Even though they're the 1 seed, you have to go win that series. You have to make the Eastern Conference Finals this year, or it's over. Blow it up. If you have any intention of Donovan Mitchell being a Cav, you have to make the Eastern Conference Finals. If we fail to, I think he's as good as gone. I am so sick and tired of hearing of how Evan Mobley might be an MVP caliber player someday. In my opinion, he's not even a top 3 player on our team. I'd rather have Allen than Mobley, even though I understand Mobley's potential is absolutely through the roof, and I'm not. I'm just saying. I've been hearing everyone talks about his potential. He's been in the league since 2021. Make the goddamn leap. And maybe this playoffs, he will. But I sound very stern, very not excited. I am. However, you as a team have got to make the leap or get the fuck out of here. So take care of business round one, win the goddamn series round two. You have to do that. That's my stance on the Cavs right now. Uh, my favorite Cavs player is Max Strus. Just to put on record, I do love that guy. I love the team. The team's cool, but we've done so bad in the playoffs the last three years that you've backed yourself into this corner that you have to deliver or it's over. You can't keep saying next year, next year, next year. No. The core four, no. It has to be this year. So that's my stance. It was really cool to watch LeBron last night in that playoff game and win that game with those guys. And again, WrestleMania Night 1 was awful. I think the matches were bad. They weren't exciting. They were the only good one was Seth Rollins and Gunther, and there was an hour and a half of advertisements and WWE/TKO just a gigantic sellout right now. I am excited for night 2 tonight. starting with Brock and Oba. I'm very excited about that. The ladder match is going to be cool. We got Dom Mysterio is one of my favorite guys out there. I think Punk Reigns is going to be good. Um, Trick and Sami Zayn is going to be. I have hopes for tonight. It's definitely going to be better than night one, but WWE and TKO has to do a better job of delivering that. Aside from that, my life's kind of slowing down a little bit after today. Not too much on my schedule the rest of April. Going to be relaxing. You know, the Guardians after this week go on a road trip, so I won't be going down there at all. My May is already filling up quick. I have a night planned with Kent going down to the Guardians game. It's going to be a great time. A night tentatively planned with Mark as well as B. Those are three Guardians games right out the rip. Cavs playoffs. Um, Going to Miami in May. I'm super excited about that. So May is going to be a roller coaster of just events. But for now, life is slowing down. Um, I'm working. I have to get in contact with Bree, my friend. She works in the dentist industry or the orthodontist industry. I'm working on getting, the next step of whatever's going on here with my two teeth. For those that don't know, I was born without two adult teeth right here, and that's why I wear the retainer that has um, false teeth in there to hold in place. For the longest time, my jaw would keep shifting, and I couldn't get the implants. So I'm working on next steps to ditch the retainer here and either get these implanted or at least an alternative until I do. Um, Doing that soon. Um, Aside from that, just been working out in the mornings. I'm sure my gym crush has to be worried sick about me that I skipped the gym this morning, but too hungover to get in there today. So waiting on Chipotle, but working out in the mornings, working, eventually getting this taken care of. Uh, Watching baseball. The dating scene is dead. Like I can't stand the dating apps. I'll make a whole nother episode for that on its own. It's just so bad. Dating apps and the lockdown of COVID and whatever else just absolutely killed the dating scene. It's not even it doesn't even suck. It's just non-existent. But we'll get into that some other time because I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with that. Um, yeah, uh, that's life. That's life right now. Like I said, the next few weeks are going to be calm and relaxed, but um, May is gonna hit the shit, gonna hit the ground running. Uh, I asked Sean and Dan to give me a topic or a Mount Rushmore to give you guys, and Dan picked my Mount Rushmore, my top four fears that I have. So my top four fears, in no particular order. One is definitely the ocean. I do not like what I cannot see. I think the ocean's terrifying. It's beautiful. I'll absolutely go in the water up to above my maybe around my waist. I think it's absolutely terrifying in there. When I was a kid, Wanda took me whale watching, and I still remember the fear of this day. I don't find it cool at all to be in a little ass boat in the middle of that ocean, hoping to see these gigantic creatures. Like, no, uh, ocean terrifies me. Um, one of the last times I was in Miami, I got surrounded by I don't know what you call them, a pond of jellyfish, whatever they were. It was a whole fucking bunch of them, and I was fucking, I'm out. Uh, the ocean, however you want to spin it, the ocean terrifies me. Um, I'm weirdly afraid of escalators. It's always been a weird fear of mine. There's something about the imbalance of them. It's not even like I'm afraid my shoe's gonna get ripped off or stuck or whatever. Like something about the imbalance of escalators. They just make me uneasy. Like I still take them. Like I'm not like on there like oh god, but like it takes me like a second to like make that step and get on. Like so maybe it's not escalators, but it's definitely about things being not balanced. Um, I fear people. I don't trust anyone out here these days. Anyone could be. You see these horrific stories on the news. Someone was just posting this last week that a woman was stabbing a toddler at Walmart, like alone with. my own recent experience last year. There are two different occasions just in Brook Park alone where I was walking Fred, and one I was walking around my block around by Giant Eagle, and this guy was following me, and it was getting uncomfortable. And I was walking back towards my apartment complex, and he like made that turn and was still following me. And I picked Fred up and started walking, and this guy who starts laughing, he's like, he's like, you're fucking scared. He's like, you got to pick up your dog, run away like a little bitch and whatever, whatever. And like, I was like, what the fuck, man? I would have loved to have confronted the guy, even though like that's probably a bad idea. Like, who knows how not well in the head he was or what he had on him. But with Fred, with me, I just got him out of there. And the guy ended up walking his own way, whatever. But like, I just fear people. Then there was another time we were walking down Michael Road, and this crazy old bitch who lives on the second house on the left. If you turn right on Michael, Fred stopped to go to the bathroom on her lawn, and I was cleaning it. And I don't know, maybe she was drunk. It was after a Browns game or something, but she walked out and she's like, go shit on your own fucking grass. And I was like, took my headphones. I was like, what? I was like, excuse me? And she's like, get your own fucking grass. And I was like, all right. I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, ma'am. I was like, if you really have a problem with me, cleaning up my dog's waste on your lawn, like, feel free to call the cops, whatever. She goes, go get your own fucking grass. And she started like walking towards me, and I like stopped and I looked at her, and like she like stared at me, like walked back in, like crazy ass bitch. But I fear people, and that's gonna go into number four. Uh, Not right now, but my biggest fear is that I'm just gonna fail at protecting, you know, my loved ones, which would have been Fred. Like, hopefully, like, I can put someone else in that company. But like, maybe let me go bigger. My fear of is things that happen in this world that I can't control. I need to be in control. I need a purpose and a reason for everything, and fear of things that I can't outcomes that I can't shake. And we're gonna get into that with the Fred one big time next time. But ocean, imbalance, people, and things that I can't control, or outcomes that I can't, or narratives that I can't control. Um, those are my four fears. And you know, I'm sure I look like one of those people that you can't trust and should fear as I'm talking to myself in the middle of a park right now. But I'm gonna get ready to put my Chipotle order in and go get the Chipotle. Again, um, I'm super excited about these, and I have my list of topics that I'm serious topics of things I want to document and get out there that I look forward to uh, doing that. But big picture with this is I want to do this with friends. I want to have sports takes documented with friends. I want to talk about top 10 favorite movies with friends. I want to have Zoom calls or team whatever video, like with friends if we can't do it in person. Uh, One of these times, maybe I'll get a Warzone night where I stream it and put it on the. It's just I'm very excited about this, and I'm actually pretty glad that I was able to bring you guys to Magooni's Park. This is the most special place to me. That's a good question. Is this the most meaningful place to me? I think so. Um, but I'm gonna go ahead and I can't see. So the sun's in my eyes. I don't know what you guys can see or not, but this is Magooni's Park, and thank you for spending time with me here this morning. And I'm about to go piss off some Chipotle workers who just showed up for their shift, and some crazy assholes been in the parking lot waiting for his online order. So uh, until next time, stay strong, um, be safe, and make good decisions. This is gonna take a minute. I'm embarrassed. I can't see where my mouse is to stop the video. All right, goodbye.